A traffic stop does not become dangerous because someone argues. It becomes dangerous because someone talks too much. Most drivers believe that being polite means answering every question. They think cooperation equals safety. But here's the truth. Traffic stops are not casual conversations. They are investigations. Every question has a purpose. Every answer becomes evidence. Every extra word gives the officer more material to work with. You don't lose cases because you were rude. You lose cases because you helped build them. Today, I'm breaking down the most common traffic stop questions designed to trap drivers and how to protect yourself legally when they show up. If you value your rights, stay with me. 1. Do you know why I stopped you? This question sounds harmless. It feels conversational. It feels polite. But legally, it is extremely strategic. When you answer this question, you are guessing, and guessing often sounds like admitting. You might say, was I speeding? I might have rolled that stop sign. I was going a little fast. Now, the officer doesn't need to prove your mindset. You just supplied it. Courts have recognized in cases like Berkmare v. McCarty that roadside questioning creates psychological pressure. Drivers feel obligated to respond. But here's what you need to understand. You are not required to guess. You are not required to confess. A calm, simple response works best. I'm not sure, officer. Then stop talking. Let the officer explain the reason for the stop. Never write your own ticket with your own mouth. 2. Where are you coming from? This question is not about driving. It's about context. When you answer, you reveal information about your schedule, your habits, your environment. Coming from a bar. Coming from a friend's place. Out late running errands. Now the officer has new angles to explore. Late hour plus certain location plus nervous tone equals expanded suspicion. Even innocent answers create investigative pathways. You are required to provide identification. You are not required to narrate your evening. You can respond politely. I'd prefer not to answer any additional questions. Remain calm. Remain respectful. Oversharing turns a traffic stop into a lifestyle interview. Keep it about the vehicle, not your personal life. 3. Have you had anything to drink tonight? This is where the temperature changes. Even if you say, just one. A couple hours ago. Not much. That statement alone can justify further investigation. Field sobriety tests often begin with an admission, not with bad driving. Once alcohol enters the conversation, the stop shifts categories. Now it's no longer about a traffic violation. It's about impairment. Here's what most people don't realize. You gain nothing legally by admitting limited drinking. You only create justification for more testing. You can remain calm and say, I prefer not to answer any questions. Then stop talking. Silence does not equal guilt. It equals self-protection. 4. Is there anything illegal in the car? This question is psychological. It's designed to make you react. Officers often watch your face more than they listen to your words. Hesitation becomes nervous behavior. Quick denial becomes overly defensive. Detailed explanation becomes suspicious. It's a lose-lose verbal trap. You are not required to provide a verbal inventory of your vehicle. You can respond, I'm not answering questions. Stay steady. Keep hands visible. Stay composed. The less emotion you show, the less interpretation they can write into a report later. 5. If you don't mind if I take a look, right? This is one of the most important moments in any stop. The phrasing implies that saying no is unreasonable. It sounds casual. It is not casual. If you say yes, you give up Fourth Amendment protection.
Courts consistently uphold consent searches. Once you grant permission, it becomes extremely difficult to challenge. And here's the reality. Innocent people get charged from consent searches every day. Borrowed vehicles, forgotten items, misidentified substances, accidental damage during search. Consent removes your leverage. The correct response: I do not consent to any searches. Say it calmly. Say it clearly. Then stop talking. You can refuse consent and still remain respectful. 6. Why are you being so defensive? Now the stop becomes emotional. This question reframes caution as attitude. It's designed to provoke explanation. And explanation leads to talking. Talking leads to interpretation. Officers document demeanor in reports. Defensive, agitated, uncooperative. The more you talk, the more descriptive language appears later. Instead of explaining yourself, control your body language. Slow breathing. Hands visible. Neutral tone. Silence prevents emotional framing. Emotion feeds it. 7. Just be honest with me. This phrase sounds moral, but traffic stops are not moral discussions. They are legal events. Statements made under pressure often appear very differently later. You may think context protects you, but reports summarize, they do not quote full conversations. Honesty does not shield you from charges. Evidence does. If you want protection, invoke it clearly. I'd like to remain silent. That is lawful. That is constitutional. That is smart. 8. Step out of the vehicle for a moment. This request is usually lawful during a traffic stop, but understand what changes. When you leave the vehicle, you are more exposed. Your movements are scrutinized. Your posture and balance are observed. Officers may use this moment to build additional suspicion. Comply physically, but reduce conversation. Movement plus talking increases interpretation. Movement plus silence reduces it. 9. You're free to go. But one more question. This is one of the most underestimated traps. Relief lowers your guard. Once the stop officially ends, continued conversation becomes voluntary. Now, anything you say is no longer part of a detention, it's casual conversation. But it's still recorded, and still evidence. You have a choice here. You can politely say, "I appreciate it. I'm going to head out," and leave. You are not required to stay for just one more question. Many cases begin after the stop supposedly ends. Keycap 10: Why silence wins silence works because it denies material. Officers build cases from words. When you speak, they interpret tone, timing, body language, word choice. When you remain silent, the stop must rely on observable facts, not your commentary. You still comply. You still provide documents. You still follow lawful orders. But you remove conversational evidence. Silence is not aggression. It is discipline. Final rules set. How to win a traffic stop. Winning a traffic stop does not mean arguing. It means finishing it without creating new exposure. Here is the strategy. Pull over safely and promptly. Keep hands visible. Provide required documents. Exit the vehicle if ordered. Do not consent to searches. Do not answer investigative questions. Invoke your right to remain silent if needed. Calm body language. Minimal speech. Maximum control. You cannot control what an officer asks, but you can control what you give. Every question carries upside for the officer. Most answers carry downside for you. Protecting your rights does not require confrontation. It requires discipline. Outro traffic stops happen fast. Preparation slows them down. When you understand how questions are used, you stop reacting emotionally and start responding strategically. Your goal is simple: finish the stop. Avoid new charges. Go home safely. If this breakdown helped you think differently about traffic encounters, stay informed. Because knowledge protects you long before a courtroom ever does. And in moments of pressure, discipline beats conversation every single time.